Rocco, why don't you take us to our next topic about holoportation?
We'll never get injured. We'll never get injured.
Yeah, exactly. So if you guys want to go check this out, go to YouTube real quick. Holoportation is something you want to look up. It's in collaboration with Microsoft. They use their HoloLens, their virtual reality headset. But holoportation is where it's a new 3D capturing cameras that will be placed around you, like at 4 different angles at different heights too, as well as what I was seeing in the video. One looked like it was at like 2 feet, one looked like it was at 7 feet, one was at like 3 feet, kind of getting different angles, and it'll capture video of you walking around within the area of those
Like
cameras.
a motion capture.
Yes, exactly. And then it'll also capture texture too as well, and it'll be able to send this data over to somebody else that has the same kind of system that can put on a virtual reality headset, and it'll look as if you guys are there socially, like right next to each other, being able to hang out, have a good time. So this is like a brand new technology that's just coming. It's just coming out right now. I saw TED Talks on it too as well. There's a lot of room for growth with it and opportunities with it. And it feels like it even writes it in the video itself is like it's like the Star Wars like holographic kind of feel, you know.
It's coming to life. Star Wars is coming to life.
What's different than just doing the Skype call though? Because I'm actually seeing the real version of you and hearing your voice and everything.
Right. So
now.
I mean, it still looks fairly you-ish, 3D-ish, kind of mixed together. I mean, they're doing the best that they can right now. I could tell that there's some contrast issues, some different things and stuff. But I think the cool thing would be that it's so interactive, like you're talking about right now with this game, the Miitomo.
Yeah.
Is that you're able to be interactive with these individuals, like in the social media kind of aspect. Like I think this is like. Okay, so you guys are thousands of miles away right now. I can't be able. I can hang out with you through Skype 2D wise. Okay.
Yeah.
But now we can incorporate it 3D wise, where it's as if we're sitting here one another, being able to do high fives or even play chess with one another, or do anything like interactive together within a room. So
yeah, but
it has other capabilities too as well. And one of the ones that I liked a lot was that it can actually record the data that happens within that like session. And the cool thing about that is that when it records that data, you can revisit that data almost like revisiting a memory, like in the Harry Potter scene when they go into the thing. It's like you can go back into it, you can put on your virtual reality headset, and because it's been recording from all different angles, you can literally walk around that recording and see all the different things that were happening while that recording was going on.
So I can see if you're cheating while playing bridge.
You got it. Yeah. You can so you play each other, right? You could then, when you go look at the recording, walk around the recording that was happening and see,
awesome.
Oh, that was the cards that he had or whatever had happened there.
And you can scale it too.
Yeah, you can scale it. So it's
cool,
like it was normal, regular size. You can scale it down to right there on your table if you want to, so you can get a better view of it. I think the possibilities of this kind of technology, like we were talking about virtual reality about 2 weeks ago, it's just like...
That's awesome, man.
It's endless, I feel.
Yeah.
You know?
Think about like football games or soccer matches and stuff like that, where you can just go boom and have it like on a table and have all your friends sitting around like, oh,
yeah, exactly. Like you're watching the soccer game right there on the table, and you're all got your virtual reality headset.
So StubHub is actually selling tickets, virtual reality tickets to people.
Yep.
So they fill the seats, and then they have extra seats. So for sold out concerts and sold out football games,
I told you guys they were
going to
do this, right?
a VR seat, and you can.
I told you there was companies working together that are building virtual reality stadiums that they're going to place the recording inside of, so that it feels like you're really there. Like there's and Clay mentioned last time on VR, porn. Think about these things, like the different direction that all this different stuff.
Well,
is
you
going.
need
There's
sensation.
some angles you don't want to see though.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Damn it, cameraman, not there.
You need. I think.
Well, you're the cameraman. You know what I mean?
With
like,
porn and like other things, like it would be interesting to have like actual sensations. Like you mentioned the high five. Like we can high five, but it's gonna feel. It's gonna lose that physical.
The TED Talk actually speaks about this part. So that one that you guys watched, that video you watched there's a TED Talk one that speaks that the next direction they're going on to is that it creates sensation. So if you go to push on something, there could be a push back, and you would feel that, or heat from some digital.
What would you generate that though?
I am not sure as of right now. He was
you have to wear
about it. Something was going on. He was saying that that's the direction that they're moving into right now, but he didn't elaborate on like the technology that they have that can create that. So it's like that what we were talking about, like the secret of the company kind of thing. Who knows if they're already got technology being developed that's capable of doing that? But he was saying that's the direction they're moving into.
The only thing I can see is that once you'd have to wear like a head thing that had some sort of like neurological connection to your brain to send a type of signal that you get when you like touch somebody's hand or something. That would be the only way I could see it. It's something that can like
that's crazy.
fire stuff in your brain that makes it feel like that without actually having to touch it.
Yeah.
So it makes you like false sense that you're doing
that's
it.
Insane.
I mean, actually, that's a good question. Are you actually doing it if your brain makes you feel like you're doing it?
Well, that's the thing that happens in dreams and stuff too, right? Our brain assimilates that we're actually going through some fearful thing when you're getting chased by a zombie and you wake up and you're in a dead sweat.
But that's why
and it's realistic. But it's realistic.
Your physiology is going through all the different emotions and the feelings that you go through.
Pinching, like you can't feel, and that was a key sign.
Yeah.
So I have a funny
and you're saying
story.
in a dream.
Yeah.
In a dream. Right.
Well,
and they say that,
So we're on this dream topic, and I definitely need to tell you guys this story. So the other night I'm having a dream, okay? And I sleep like this, with my on my arm underneath my pillow, on my side. And I guess like I was having a dream. I remember the dream. I was chasing someone at work, and I was reaching out for them because they did something to me, and I'm like chasing them, trying to grab them, and all I could do was grab their hair, and I pulled back, and apparently my hand was right next to my wife's head, and I.
Oh no!
And like starting a lawnmower.
What a great way to wake up.
Yeah, she must have been so pissed.
Yeah.
Yeah, she wasn't happy, but
oh man, that would hurt.
That's awesome.
I did something similar happened to me. This was not intentional, had nothing to do with what was happening in my dream, but I had been sleeping on my arm and had fallen asleep. And then whatever in the dream, I was like rolling over to like avoid something, and my dead arm, like just full dead weight, smacked Yukiko right in the head. Like it was just like full. She was just like, "What the fuck?" And I was just like, "Oh, sorry," but I couldn't do anything because my arm was asleep.
And you're also 3 times the size of her, so your arm hitting her is like,
oh man,
it's like a tree hitting her face.
6 years ago or something, and I never forgot it because I felt so bad. I was just like, I can't do anything. My arm's asleep.
All right, so back on topic real quick. This technology is being used currently right now for exploration of other planets, like Mars, for example. So Curiosity rover is going around right now and recording a bunch of data, and they're able to imprint this data into a like virtual reality kind of system where a person can put on a headset and be able to walk around in this environment and see everything through these high definition photographs that they stitch together to create a virtual space. So they can now explore other areas of like say Mars that's only had pictures kind of taken. Now they're not exploring, they're exploring what's been the images that they
images.
Yes, exactly. I mean, so at some point I think eventually they might be
they need a rig on the rover that is like shooting in all directions with like with like fisheye lenses.
Eventually, you're going to start to see things like that. I think that what they were talking about is that they're going to go in a direction of like our children's children might be able to, at that point, be able to like put on these virtual reality headsets and go and like legitly explore space and other things because of the fact that they have, different satellites or different rovers all over different areas with the capability of sending the data that you can create a virtual like landscape for yourself and go experience. And on the TED Talks, it's pretty wild because they actually do create a lot of 3D environments that look like extremely real that he's able to like interact with that only when you're wearing the VR headset can you see and stuff.
Yeah. You know what we should do with that technology? Video like a greeting and just shoot it off into space, just as fast and as far as we can go. So some other life forms can get our message.
Like. Have what the singularity is? When our technology has gotten like more advanced, that we're like almost, it's more advanced than human beings basically, and we're more like slaves to this like, it basically is like we transcend our normal humanity.
The computers and humans are
like
one.
are one basically. So we travel through like the internet basically and can go wherever we want. Anything that has like any sort of computer electrical signal we can like transport through.
Is this some type of theory? Is this something that's like
this is a theory that we will reach this point within X amount of years. X amount of years that it will be like assimilated into one like new species basically.
Right.
Is what is like the idea is, and that's kind of what it sounds like by when you said our children like taking a tour of Mars or like a tour of like an outer ring of Jupiter or something, Saturn or something,
Or Clay, exploring a porn site.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to think about it, right?
I mean,
put
plus
those cameras,
with like what I was saying,
put those
like
cameras around a bed, and like you've got.
when you get this, if you're getting the sensations and everything, then it's like I think that's a close step to that point where it makes you think of the movie Minority Report. If you guys remember that one, he goes into that. He goes into that one place where he's trying to get the memories out of this girl, but then like there's all these guys in the pod and they're just like living out these crazy whatever things they want to do inside these pods, and it's basically like their reality, right?
Well,
the jail kind of area that you're talking about, like the jail, like they're
not
like
the jail. No.
Jail, like
this one the guy he already has the girl out of the pods and everything, and he's trying to get her memories out, and he goes to like this hacker guy. And, And he goes and like everybody, like a guy's like like doing like a porn thing, and a guy was like, I want to kill my boss, that's what he wants to live out. Yeah,
they go through their fantasies.
Yeah,
in virtual
exactly.
Reality.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and what about this? So think about like losing a loved one. You could sit there and have like these recordings and stuff.
Oh,
and,
yeah,
like, sit there and
the idea of singularity
them.
Also is that you would not lose love. Like people would live indefinitely.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. You're saying the idea of singularity, but with like Ian was saying though, with this virtual reality technology, those videos would be like very interactive now. Say I had my wife like just record herself in a video and was just like, hey, I love you so much, hanging out. What kind of video? We'll have a few different videos.
Yeah.
But the going away one that just keeps reminding me that she loves me.
Right.
And I could throw on the VR headset, and then it could be like this experience that I'm like sitting there on the couch with her still, and we're hanging out, just doing whatever and chilling. That would be one of those things. Would be totally different than like a Skype or throwing it up on a DVD into my.
Is it different than watching a video of her? Like if you recorded a video of her?
I would think so. So think if I was like, I would think it would feel like a different experience if I was watching the television of my wife because she's on a DVD that I recorded of her, compared to me wearing a VR headset where it feels like I have the choice to look right where she's not there and left where she's there, and she's doing all these, she's.
Do you think it
would feel more interactive?
Would it feel more interactive, but also more?
It still feel fake.
More fake. Like in that case, because you're like you feel like you can see them, but then you can't touch them. You can't like hear them. You can't like smell what they smell like. All that kind of
I feel like
tactile feedback.
It would be more interactive. It would still be known though that it was virtual. You know what I mean? Like I'd still know that. Okay, I think it would be a step up from the experience interactively than watching a television to feeling like I'm actually she's in the space with me.
Have you ever seen the movie Her?
Yes.
Yeah,
best sci-fi movie.
I have it. I just haven't seen it.
Dude,
I would just sit down and watch that this weekend.
This is what you're talking about, Rocco, in a lot of ways, in terms of singularity and like advanced technologies, and it's really cool.
It's a very different take on futurology kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I think that like the direction of where these things can go is like wild, man. It's like endless.
I think what's interesting is that we take for granted how quickly we have jumped through this last age of science. Science is just very like compounding in its speed. It will be really interesting to see how quickly we go through VR and how quickly it advances. And so, in like 5-10 years, like what are we staring down the barrel of? How close are we to the singularity?
When Neil Armstrong landed on the moon, our cell phones right now, our smartphones are more powerful than the computers that were used then.
Right.
So look at like the jump we've already made in technology. Yeah. So like you're saying, we're gonna fly through this VR.
Well, that's why like people are worried about like the singularity thing, is because the technology is advancing way faster than like our brains are even like capable of handling at this point. Yeah,
that's totally true.
Like create an AI, for that
watch Her
hollow point.
Yeah,
watch Her.
Pretty much,
it's
really about AI.
There's a bunch of different companies that are developing AI right now in different forms. Like
I think this would be great though for like military and stuff. People being overseas and don't get to see their family and see their kids. I mean that would be huge.
That's true.
Yeah,
that would be nice to like actually get a face or whatever like.
And you can see actually how much your kids are growing and stuff like that.
And if you look at that video from the YouTube, he's like interacting with his little daughter. You know what I mean? Like it's like one of those things that would be and it looks a little creepy.
It was when she showed up. I was like,
That one's like, oh god.
What's interesting is that combined with
Kill it.
with gene technology, like gene morphing technology, will help get to the singularity quicker. Like they're looking at aging as more of a disease these days than it is like a natural, like inevitable thing that you need to accept. Like they're looking at it as like this is a problem with our like genome structure, and we're gonna figure out how to fix it. And then like you don't age anymore, like that's nuts. Same thing, like it has like, I feel like when we're able to manipulate cells to stop cancer and AIDS and all that stuff, like I feel like we're going to be able to manipulate aging and things like that. And then there's splicing,
it's still just like a decay of like cells, right? So like if you had something replenishing those cells, then you wouldn't be dying necessarily, would you?
True.
It's a trigger. It's like it's a trigger in the cell that causes it
I
to
honestly,
age. It's really weird.
I had researched this once before, but I cannot recall like what it was. So I don't want to like voice my opinion on it, but it was something along what Clay is saying right now. I can't honestly remember, but it was like explaining exactly how aging even occurs.
Yeah. Same thing can be said for hunger, sleep. You know, like there's chemicals and things that need to happen. Like if we can manipulate the genome to not have to need those triggers or to do it in a different way, it's really interesting.
Well, one thing is that I know the world would be fucking awesome if there was multiple Ians. Like,
Just cloning yourself.
Multiplicity. They all become more dumb. Each one would be dumber and dumber.
That was a great movie, though.
Yeah, it was
one of my favorites.
Kind of getting different angles, and it'll capture video of you walking around within the area of those
like
cameras.
a motion capture.
Yes, exactly. And then it'll also capture texture too as well, and it'll be able to send this data over to somebody else that has the same kind of system that can put on a virtual reality headset, and it'll look as if you guys are there.
Rocco, why don't you take us to our next topic about holoportation?
We'll never get injured. We'll never get injured.
Yeah, exactly. So if you guys want to go check this out, go to YouTube real quick. Holoportation is something you want to look up. Its video itself is like, it's like the Star Wars like holographic kind of feel, you know?
It's coming to life. Star Wars is coming to life.
What's different than just doing the Skype call though? Because I'm actually seeing the real version of you and hearing your voice and everything.
Right. So
now.
I mean, it still looks fairly U-ish, 3D-ish, kind of mixed together. I mean, they're doing the best that they can socially, like right next to each other, being able to hang out, have a good time. So this is like a brand new technology that's just coming. It's just coming out right now. I saw TED Talks on it too as well. There's a lot of room for growth with it and opportunities with it. And it feels like it even writes it in collaboration with Microsoft. They use their HoloLens, their virtual reality headset. But holoportation is where it's a new 3D capturing cameras that will be placed around you like at 4 different angles at different heights too as well. As what I was seeing in the video. One looked like it was at like 2 feet. One looked like it was at 7 feet. One was at like 3 feet.